Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to our next episode of Total War Warhammer. After my first two episodes I've been getting some good feedback from people and I'm hopefully going to try and improve on this by adding more details regarding the armies, the units I picked, why I picked them, what sort of abilities they have, and etc. So the army section, going over the armies, is going to be a lot longer, but of course as always an option there will be in the description and a comment I'll put in below where you can skip straight to the battle, but for beginners they can see what I picked and why, and the people that know the game can tell me why I shouldn't have picked them, is hopefully the theory. So here we go, we're going to go over my Empire army. I've decided I'm going into the woodlands, where at the bottom of this hill is a massive Beastmen herd. And we've decided to march in and take them out because we're finally fed up with them. So the forces that I've brought with me, the front wave I have is 136 handgunners. The aim of these guys is to hopefully be able to put down many a Beastmen of their armor piercing rounds. Even if their armor and shield, it should rip through it. But for the main of the fighting, the main battle line is led by a warrior priest. Now the abilities I chose for him is the benediction, which gives everyone around him a nice leadership buff, and I believe that's the effect you're seeing on all the units around him. That weird cloud effect is the leadership buffs he's getting. Ooh, sorry about that. He also has the Hammer of Sigma and the Faith's Bastion ability. Now these allow him to improve his melee attack and damage resistance respectively. He also has Soul Fire, which is what it sounds like. He rains holy fire upon his enemies around him. But also, I didn't realise it gives magic resistance to him and his allies around him while damaging the enemy, which is a nice little buff. And he finally has Shield of Faith. Now this is a damage resistance for everyone around him, so it'll make him all that little bit tougher. The main line that he'll be leading consists of 90 spearmen over here and 180 halberdiers on either side. Now these all get a buff against large targets, so against Beastmen they should do well, and the halberds also have an armor piercing, so they should be able to rip through any of the bestigals and such that have shields and armor. I also have a nice group of 90 flagelants, who these guys will be unbreakable, and damage dealing is actually one of their abilities while they're winning combat, so they're going to be a nice offensive power to try and smash against the Beastmen. Now this main line is supported by the Hellstorm rocket battery, the rocket launchers, because we're on a big hill and we're aiming at Beastmen, so even though it's not very accurate, when it does it hits a large area and does really good damage against infantry. Supporting them is also a grey wizard, which relies mostly on illusions and deception and very fancy sandals, I've just noticed, but also to try, his whole point is to break the morale of the enemy. So I've brought him along, so the priest is buffing my leadership and the wizard is breaking theirs. So the abilities he's got is one called Smoke and Mirrors. This allows all guys around him, all my allies, to get a buff to their speed. He also has the item Arcane Conduct, which gives him better power reserves straight off the bat, and also speeds up the recharge rate of spells and the mana, I believe, as well, the energy for magic. So he should be able to do with that item a lot more spells than the Beastmen. His spells I've picked is Enfeebling Foe, which decreases their melee attack and defense. You then have Withering, which lowers their armor and leadership. So if I get those comboed, everything drops. Their armor, their defense to be able to defend themselves, hitting back, and their leadership all drops. I've also got a weird spell, Okamon's Mind Razor, which improves my allies' weapon damage and armor piercing. So even if they have a little bit of armor left, I should be able to buff my guys to pierce straight through the armor and increase the damage that then does. His final spell is of course the good old Pit of Sage, which is just a big blast, which will hover around, do a lot of damage, and hopefully disrupt his formation so my guys can pick off the guys that are left. So that's the main force done, but we do have hidden forces in the woods around us. So if we go to the rear first, my hidden reserves is 90 great swords. Now the great swords, if you're not aware, are pretty much the best infantry the Empire can get. As you can see, they've got 4 plate armor. They've got these massive great swords which can just cut through the opposition's armor, and they're very, very effective against infantry. Now if we jump to the right flank, you've got a further 90 great swords here and 90 spearmen with shields. Now I did give my spearmen shield. Not really sure why, when I remembered the Beastmen don't really have ranged like archers, and the shields, all they do is give you a defense against range attacks from the front. So kind of wasted a few points there, but you live and learn. I mustn't forget also our general, who is a captain of the Empire, riding his mighty griffin. As you can imagine, the griffin he's armoured, they've got armour piercing attacks, and the griffin causes terror. So again, not only is he buffing my leadership, he's terrorising the enemy. The 3 abilities I gave the captain is Hold the Line, which will increase the leadership and charge resistance of the unit around him, which would be great with Beastmen attacking me. I also have Foe Seeker, which buffs the general's speed so we can attack more and do more damage quicker against opposition. And he finally has Stand Your Ground, which buffs the leadership and melee defense. So it's a very defensive force in this. I need the enemy to come towards me. I have further reserves on the left flank. I have 90 halberds just sat there waiting, and hidden down the hill using the vanguard deployment. Let's see if I can find them. Here they are. Where are they? There you are. It's 30 outriders with grenade launchers. So they're hidden away, and their aim is to either stop any outflanking forces or get on the enemy's flank as they advance up the hill. As we advance, that's pretty much, yeah, that's all my forces. We can go over the map as we go across, because you can see I've got nice woodland and I've got the high ground. You then have this middle patch of a couple like lanes of trees, and then at the bottom of the hill you've got the Beastmen herd. So let me just flip my paper over with all my notes, because I want to make sure I get this right. So the front line, the main line, is 480 trained Ungor spearmen. Now if you remember in my previous episodes, when I used the word trained, it means they've got bronze bar chevrons. If they're veterans, they're silver, and if they're elite, they've got gold chevrons. This is my way of making it easier. The idea of having trained Ungors is quite scary. So you can see their spearmen with their shields, a lot of them. They've got poor leadership, but they're just for the charge and cannon fodder, because their main force is behind. And they've got 120 bestigors. These guys are the proper beastmen. As you can see, they're huge, they tower over people, they're armoured, and if those giant great axes can cut through armour quite comfortably with that strength from us behind. You've got 9 minotaurs with shields, armour and giant axes. So he's got it, the cannon fodder at the front, and then it's going to progressively get worse and harder. Leading this mighty horde of beastmen is none other Malagor the Dark Omen. Now I would list this character's profile, his stats, his items, his spells, his abilities, but unlike my characters, he's got, I think it's like 12 different abilities and spells, and then he's got items on top of that. I don't really know the Beastmen too well either, but this guy is absolutely deadly. He's got so much stuff that he could just destroy whole armies, and he pretty much does. He's so devastating in this episode. So that's their general. If we go on their right flank, you got the Razor Gore chariots, 3 of them, which are armoured because they're inside. They've got the armour piercing, and they've got terror, because if you had this thing charging at you, the very angry guinea pig with horns, it's yeah, not pleasant. If we go to their left flank, so my right flank, we've got 2 Cygors. Now these guys, as you can imagine, cause terror, and also they've got, this is pretty much their artillery. They have these giant rocks that they pick up and throw at the enemy, and yeah, we're going to see a good example of that in this episode. They do have 2 units left, and it was all conveniently placed here on their far right, or my far left, right where my outriders are sat, you have got 120 Chaos Warhounds. Now these guys are really, really horrible. They're brilliant for getting artillery, outflanking, getting in the rear charges. They've got, well, scaly skin first of all, which I didn't realise, which gives them a buff against ranged damage. So shooting at them isn't the best idea, though it's probably better than charging them. And also, you notice that these guys are glowing green. That's because they're poisoned, which not only does damage, but it lowers the speed and the damage that the unit they're attacking can deal back. So not only do they have resistance to damage, but when they get in combat, you're slowed down, you've got damage being dealt, and then you can't deal as much damage back, which is horrific. So we'll get the full camera back on, so you can see, yep, there's us placed on the hill, there's them at the bottom of the hill, and we will start this battle. Now, as you can see, it's a 17-minute battle. It's a lot. It's a long time, I know. But we'll go straight over here first, because the first thing is, these guys, I see them and go, well, I've got to take these out. So they start bombing them instantly, which starts getting them to shake. They become shaken because they're getting attacked from nowhere, from behind. Though I didn't realise I was hitting the trees half the time, so a good third of the shots aren't getting through. If you watch the trees, there's my Hailstorm rockets firing. See, I didn't give chase either straight away. See, look, one shot was fired and it hit a tree. And the others are going to short very low, so they're withdrawing. When this is happening, yeah, that's the Cygors. So yeah, this is what their artillery does. It is hugely damaging, and you see there's already very messy guys left. Let's see how many guys are in this unit. 40. Oh, that one fell short, but yeah, 49 guys left, so taking a bit of a battering. 68. So at this point, I send the outriders going. My captain's having a look. Look at the range they've got. They're just in range of my Hailstorm rockets, and then they can shoot my front line. It's horrible. You can see over here, my Griffin gonna have a go, see if he can do some damage. All I want to do is a hit, run. Look how much health it does. Bang, a nice little bit there. Can we get the info up? How much damage does that do? Not much. But you can see he's really hitting them hard. But then I realise there's two of them and they start kicking me. And he's like, nope, run away. Over here, the Chaos Warhounds are like, why are we running from horsemen? So they're chasing them back. And my guys can't. And I decide, look, you can't keep running away. You're going to get trapped in the corner. Go this way towards our lines. The only problem is these guys start gaining on them. It's almost like they smell them that they're close and make a charge in. And catch them in the trees and start absolutely, at this point they just break. Nice dramatic shot as the wolf pack, Chaos Hounds are ripping this poor cavalry to shreds. As you can see, pretty much none of them survive, but then they forget about them and start marching. Because where are they? Of course, right behind my lines while I'm getting bombed at the front. And they make a great charge straight for the artillery in the back of the lines. And I mean, this is just their harassment force. The main herd hasn't even moved. And, oh, it's... Great swords moving in. I pretty much panic and send in my entire line to try and deal with them. At which point, the wolves start realising this isn't worth it and start pulling back. Raggle in some great swords there and we start cutting them back. So they run back into the woods, recharge after them. I don't have to worry about it, because even the Beastmen do start moving. We finish them off nicely. So that's the first skirmish. First blood to the Beastmen. Well, first blood was the giant rock, but... which is still happening. Griffin's come back. I've taken a bit of damage. He's done a bit of damage to both of them, but it's just... This was annoying me. I couldn't do anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward a bit, because all what happens is I realise I should use the woods, so I'll break my foot. Look, they've already started wavering. That could be because there's only 19 of them left, so I'll put the handgunners in the woods, but leave these guys in the open. So what does he do? Common sense, starts hitting them. That was a beautiful hit. Yeah, so I just go, right, everyone in the woods, which is really what I should have done in the first place. Just hide everyone in the woods. So now my forces are divided, which isn't great. I'm sorry. He's now decided to start moving forward. Because he can't hit anything. And where is he? On the right flank, you can just see him. My Griffin's coming around to see if he can do some harassment. As his whole army has to slowly march. But he's done brilliant. He's taken the handgunners out, pretty much out of the game. And the Hellstorm rockets use a lot of its ammunition on cycles that it could barely hit. So yeah, they're starting to move up. So yeah, as I was saying before, did they just try and fire and hit a tree? Are you blowing yourselves up? I don't understand. I think they might have hit a tree and it bounced off and hit their own crew. Oh dear. So yeah, you got the main force there, and on the right flank, let's see what we've got. We've got you got the Great Swords, a unit of Hellbirds, the Spearmen, and the handgunners at the front of the woods, ready to pick them off. They're starting to come up now. Being very cautious because he knows I'm there. Also, he's charged into the chariots to try and do some damage. The Minotaurs charge into reinforce, and I go, yeah, I just leave. I've done my bit of damage, and that's all I'm doing is picking a little bit, but I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I should probably point out that these have bronze chevrons, I believe that is. That's not gold, that's bronze. Yeah, they're kind of just like, they're waiting for me to move, because look, as soon as I move, he can see me. It's brilliant tactic, kind of just sat back, seeing what damage he can do. Captain, having a look around. Their general just kind of strolling up like, yeah, no, it's all good. They're hitting trees. So he's kind of just seeing what damage he can do. See, I've already got warriors fleeing. Great. Oh, the captain's charged into the back of these guys. Flies off again, so he's just trying to hit and run, trying to be a nuisance, try and get on the guy's nerves. To be honest, I don't think it really worked. An overview. Right, we can even go to the tactical map so you can see how it's all going. My forces split into two, which is probably a good thing for him. Now he starts moving his main line forward. My handgunners are trying to take out the big guys, because these little guys, they'll just break, especially with my leadership and my terror and all that. It's the big guys I've got to worry about. They can throw them on the move. Those handgunners, yeah, barely did any damage and get hit straight away and start to flee. My captain knows this is the final person goes around. That for now. Got a little group going there. The Griffin has landed in that group to try and split them up. priest ready to leave them. We have battle over here is now clashed. Guys from the woods have come down. Come in comes the Griffin. They're against one unit of Ungors and the Minotaurs. I mean, the Minotaurs are low and are dangerous, but the fact that I've got great swords should help. But he's sending in more reinforcements to try and hold this flank, because he knows my general's there. Oh, well, he's not having a good day. Oh, what a mess. Got my halberds and spearmen, which is good because they're anti-large. So against these guys, they should do quite a bit of damage. The only problem is, humans are frail. This is something I've learned in this game. It really likes to point this out. Anyway, we'll move over here. Not sure what ability that is. My empire, like, yep, we're going to charge now. So the priest leaves in the flagellants. You've got the spearmen there, the great swords and halberds on the left flank. But then you got the chariots coming on the flank here, which you can see they've just gone straight through the halberds into the great swords. But the halberds, if they can recover, should be able to take these out nicely. So the two battles have started. There's the Soulfire coming down, and I'm just clicking on all the abilities here. I know I need to use everything. I mean, my wizard as well. I don't know where he's hiding. He's somewhere out there. He should be doing spells to buff them. And so, ooh, as you can see, his wizard is just dropping spell on spell on spell on me. There he is there. And oh, that was a hair and a half. That was. Look at that. On this flank. Now, this is something I didn't realise. He started with 2. There's my Pit of Sage going down. But he started with 2 Cygors. There's now 3. Turns out that wizard can spawn a 3rd. So, what I thought was the hardest opposition. I'll put the screens on so you can actually see how everyone's doing. They've started to waver. These guys are coming in. Your group over there, that's the Minotaurs. They've completely ran off the field. But on this side, my guys have started to flee. If I go to the tactical map, you can see it probably a lot better. They're the ones fleeing. The great swords, well, that's a bit embarrassing. You've got the grey wizard there. You've got some halberdiers coming in. But you can see they're starting to get a good surround. Right, he's coming in and doing damage. It's all around the priest. He's the only one keeping it together. Well, on this flank, got some guys here. I mean, you got some spearmen here. I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah, it's getting quite badly. The handgunners are giving support, but it's not going great, especially with these damn spells this guy keeps dropping on me. Where's the warrior priest? Here he is. But he's taking quite a bit of damage. If we get the info up, warrior priest. Oh, come on, where is he? He's killed 3 people apparently. Is that it? But then again, he's more for buffing, isn't he? See the people around him. Yeah, the wizard came in and they just started breaking. Pretty sure the priest gets slain at this point. He's taking a lot of them out. Remember, these are the best of Gors. They're the best of the Gors. So he's taking them out, but I mean, look what he's up against. They're still holding on the ridge there. I don't know where he's going now, but as you can see, he's just getting surrounded. Oh, the warrior priest broke before getting slain. So of course this flank is just, yeah, their leadership is not good. The guys are getting behind them. Over here though, we slayed the Cygor. I'm sorry I missed that. But look at the bodies on there. They've killed so many guys. But we finally pushed back and it's like, we're winning this flank, but we haven't got many men left. You see health is really, really bad. And these guys are all breaking. Yeah, they're having a good time. So we've slain one of the Cygors. Where's the other one gone? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he broke temporarily, but he's come back now. He's alright. So now they're using the same words. They're chasing down my guys, and they're using the same words I used against him, against me. It's... See, there's my grey wizard trying to survive, but... Funny enough, he's not really trained for this sort of thing. Though I do love his golden sword, and his sandals, they're very nice. And my captain has finally made a charge to try and slay that Cygor, because at this point I think it's safe to say I'm out. It's all gone horribly wrong. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. So yeah, and look at the damage the Cygor's doing. And he finally breaks. At which point, with the captain going, why would anyone else stay? Grey Wizards surrounded, and these infantry would hopefully make their escape. But there we go, a valiant defeat, though. The other guy done an amazing job neglecting. I was really kind of, look, I've got handgunners, I've got rockets, and he used his wolves and Cygors to completely neglect that. His name was Grumpy Chinchilla, which I thought was very amusing for a Beastmen player. I'm hoping I'll meet him again, because that was really good. So if we go over, we lost a huge amount of men. So many. I mean, the Hellstorm rocket battery got 0 kills. The Outriders got 7, and that would have been at the start. And then you can look at his wolves got, over 50 between them. My handgunners, 7 kills between them. I mean, my close combat guys did good. I mean, the captain got 88 kills. The Great Swords 91, 51, 77 for the Hellbirds there, really good. But you look at his, I mean, his basic guys, you know, 20 to 30 kills sort of thing. The Chariot's got 60 kills, and hands down, man of the match, or beast of the match, the 2 Cygors, which got 250 odd kills between them. They neutralised my handgunners, they destroyed my artillery, they did so much damage, and then for him to spawn a 3rd was really bad. It finished me. It was those that won him the game. I mean, because they just destroyed everything, and then these guys just walked in. So yeah, that ends this battle report. A valiant defeat, though. This is what happens when you try and take on the Beastmen in the woods, in their own territory. It never ends well. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Comment on how you think it went. You know, how did you think the Beastmen done? I thought he did a brilliant job, but he was going uphill against Empire. And yeah, I made quite a few mistakes, but I'm hoping that this army could have potential. It just wasn't a good setup for them, and I'm still trying to get used to Empire. And of course, if you do like these videos, please subscribe so you can see them. I normally do a Total War video every week, one a week. Yeah, and see you next time. Till then, take care.